residents are being warned of a deadly toad that is emerging this year. Cane toads.
Have we heard of these before?
I feel like we have.
Are they enormous?
No, regular-sized toads. I mean, certainly, like it fit in your hand, fit in the palm of your hand. They are invasive, and they have toxic chemicals, so they are particularly harmful to pets who will pick them up.
Oh, yeah.
These aren't what people lick.
No, I don't think so. Interestingly, saw the report on these. This is from Fort Myers, Florida. And one gentleman said that he's been in his garden, and he sees them every day in his garden. And he has a pet rabbit that he lets play. And he's afraid the pet rabbit will lick the toad, and it's harmful to their hearts.
Mm.
The expert in the piece picked up one of these cane toads and squeezed it, and a milky substance literally shot out of its back. That's what happens. It secretes this milky-like substance. And when it...
Like teenage boys.
Exactly. It secretes a milky kind of substance.
Ugh.
All the time, especially if you squeeze it.
When aroused or endangered.
Correct. And so dogs...
Or sometimes just randomly.
That's right. And dogs will pick them up in their mouths. Not teenage boys, but these cane toads. And it's too late then. They get into their system, and it's terrible to their hearts. This is the resident who has said they're poisonous.
Well, as far as I know, they're poisonous.
I told you.
And you say he's been marked safe?
Yeah. Let's go to a local resident.
Well, as far as I know, they're poisonous.
That's right.
He must have been the only one on the street willing to talk that morning.
Everyone else was killed by a cane toad.
That's right. These cane toads.
They're killer.
They're all over the place. A couple of years ago, my wife called me in a panic. I was on the way home, and she said that our dog was acting really funny. Very odd. Only time it's ever happened. She was like stumbling around and dizzy and had no energy.
I think I recall this episode.
Mm-hmm.
We rushed her to an emergency vet. I called 4 or 5 different vets and said, I want to come to, including our own. And our guy was out of town. And the next vet I called said, well, I can't see you. I got patients. And I was like, well, I've got a dog here we've got an emergency. An emergency. And they said, well, then go to the emergency vet. I said, well,
They have those?
what's that? What is that?
You should have started with that.
And they do. They have an emergency vet. And it was determined by the emergency vet that our dog had likely picked up in its mouth or licked a toad that will secrete a poison.
Well, as far as I know, they're poisonous.
I mean, you heard.
Well, yes.
They are poisonous. I don't think it would be a cane toad because our dog was better within 90 minutes. In fact, while we were sitting there waiting for the emergency vet, she started to get back to her old self.
Still have to bill you, though.
Yeah, they did. They didn't have any problem billing us.
We're just going to go home.
And we sat there for a long time. Now, the vet did see her and said she looks fine now.
Yeah, if we could just go ahead and get your credit card.
Yeah, they do that for sure. What happens is it goes right to the heart of the dogs. Here's an expert who says...
they're poisonous.
and need to get rid of the females.
They can lay anywhere from like 8 to 30,000 eggs in a clutch. So taking out one toad one time, probably not super impactful. Females are going to be more important to remove most likely because they're the ones that lay the eggs.
Get rid of a female.
Now, is the state of Florida asking the citizenry of Florida to kill the cane toad?
They are saying that they will come out and remove the cane toad, and they are saying they are giving the go-ahead for the citizens to get rid of the cane toad. But
the
expert says, do it humanely.
Humane way you can do it is actually to capture toads with gloves. You can rub some Oragel or anything with benzocaine in it, and that actually can anesthetize them. And if you put enough on, it can humanely euthanize them. Other people just throw them in freezers.
Okay, now you can go with Oragel
and slowly numb it to death.
Or throw them in the freezer, which is less humane but easier. And you don't
more easy to forget.
Oh, getting really cold.
How many times have you put a beer or a soda in the freezer?
Many times.
When it's hot, you think, I'll just chill it down for 20 minutes.
Yep.
And you forget.
And it explodes sometimes.
It explodes.
I had a Diet Coke explode in the freezer a year ago. Taught me a lesson. I'll tell you that. Anyway, this guy says either rub Orajel on it or put it in the freezer.
Do you think anyone in Florida has ever or will ever Orajel a frog to death?
No, probably
I
not.
do think they've thrown them in their freezer. I do not.
You do?
think- I do. I think they have.
You got to put them in a deep freezer. You can't put them in your whirlpool.
Because then,
You're side by side.
yep. And then all of a sudden they're like, if you lick it, by the way, then you get in trouble.
Yeah, is this ice cream cone, Daddy?
No, that's a dead. Did you not hear? These things are poisonous.
Well, as far as I know, they're poisonous.
Okay. He may have licked one.
Maybe you hear the birds yelling at him.
It's possible. That's.
What do you think of the poisonous frogs?
Well,
They're poisonous.
well, they're poisonous. It reminded me when the expert was saying, get rid of the females because they laid 30,000 eggs at a clutch.
30,000.
It was like our caller, many years ago, who said that he had seen a poisonous snake,
Oh, snake babies?
and he knew to get rid of the snake babies.
Yes, I was telling you about the poison snake. When the mother has the poison snake, after she has them, if she dangers, feel like somebody's going to danger them or something, she calls those baby snakes back down her throat. And then after, if nothing happens, then she gurgitates the babies back out.
Get out of here. It can gurgitate on command like that.
Regurgitates them right back.
Holy.
That's the reason I found this out. I killed a water moccasin one time down at my dad's pond, and when I killed it, it had a knot in it, so I cut it open, and little baby snakes come out crawling, and they were moving around and hissing, and so I killed those too. But when I went home and talked to my dad about it, he said, yes, they gurgitate them, they swallow them if they're dangerous, but after you leave, they'll gurgitate them back out.
Fact. All true. And he killed them all because he didn't want, and we were like, you killed them all? He's like, well, what do you want? They're poisonous snakes. Of course I killed them all. Yeah, that's it. I just saw, interestingly, I'm watching The Americas.
Oh, anything gurgitate on there?
Well, they had a rattlesnake. This is out in the desert south of the United States. It was Wild West. And they were in Arizona, and they showed rattlesnakes awakening from their hibernation. Hundreds of them, like going out to get food. My wife,
She run from the room?
she had to get I
yeah.
can't watch this. I can't watch it. So, and it was a ton of
Are
rattlesnakes.
these baby snakes?
No,
these adults?
These were adult snakes, and they went out to get their food. One mom had to stay behind because she was pregnant, and she starved herself for 2 years. She didn't eat for 2 years. And because she had babies inside her, but she had to have water, and so the rain would, rain on her, and she literally did not eat for almost 2 years while she was.
Every female does that?
I believe every female. That's what they were saying because she went through like she couldn't go get food with all the others because she was protecting her babies.
Wow.
She couldn't go down there. And they're born live. It was not eggs. And they showed them slithering out. There were like 20 more of them. They were babies. And they did confirm that the babies' fangs were already loaded with venom. But they were too young, of course, to go out. So the reason she had to stay so long without food was she's pregnant part of that time. And then once the babies were born, she had to stay with them for several months before they were all able to go out and get food. It was really quite
That's a
something.
long gestation
It was
period.
huge. Well, the gestation was only like 4 months, but she, like beforehand and after, she had been asleep forever.
God.
And then after, she could not go. It was really something. I'm shocked to see it. I didn't know they were born live. I thought they laid eggs, snakes. But at least the rattlesnake there birthed them live.